God damn it. Screwed that one up.
Somebody touch my spaghetti! Somebody touch my spaghetti! Somebody touch my spaghetti! Spaghetti!
Okay.
Somebody touch my spaghetti! What's more? Is it the house?
Yo, yeah. All right.
Somebody touch my spaghetti! Somebody touch my spaghetti!
All right, that's enough of that shit.
You were supposed to play the whole thing.
It still has 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
I'm sure it does.
You can direct all your comments and concerns to angstfulvapor at theangstfulvaporhole.com.
Suckit.com will work too.
Ooh, welcome everybody to tonight's. What's going on? It looks like I'm crying. Plumes of Hazard. That video is still
Somebody
playing.
touching your spaghetti.
somebody touching my spaghetti. Thank you.
Spaghetti, yeah.
Thank you. I can't have it up there for too long because it looks just like a kid, man. I just
like a big old baby.
Yeah. The faces fit better on my face.
I like how
Welcome
my
tonight's.
in.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome to tonight's Plumes of Hazard. I am Mass Blast 09 and the co-hosts me, the Angst for Vapor Schlanksa.
What?
Myself.
Slanja by everyone.
And Fuzbaka.
Hi.
Welcome. Welcome. Dang, Matt was freaking huge in this picture.
He was definitely a little close to the camera.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't even remember where you got that picture from.
I have no idea.
Vapor Slam.
Was that Vapor Lab?
Yeah.
No.
Was it Vapor Slam? Yeah, that was a while back. So welcome. Hopefully everybody is doing okay after all the sicknesses. I know Anksty's kind of
Dude, I got hit with it. It was last night. All of a sudden, I coughed a couple times and felt that little pierce, the little stick, and I was like, "Oh, that's not good. Oh no!" I got up this morning. I felt like shit. It's like my eyes are running. Fucking my voice is going like really high, really low.
So chat feels like Sean should be blurred out on the intro. Just FYI.
Yeah, I'm not
like
gonna
a son in the family. We're just gonna put his portrait down, face down.
That's too much work.
He's still a host. He's just part time.
Yeah, part time.
It's part time.
It's part times.
It's part times.
I have to. I kind of want to get this out of the way because it's driving me crazy. So I think I know what got me sick. Because normally I don't really get sick that very much, and I got sick, and I think the reason is because starting on Thursday, my ring finger got infected, and you can see we're still purple, like dark purple, and it looks good now. So the my finger started hurting, and I got what I figured it out was a hangnail. I got a hangnail on the side of my finger, which I've had before. It's no big deal. You know, it usually hurts for a couple days, and then you get like a little thing on the side. You pick it out, and then it's done. This got so bad I couldn't type, and for a man that relies on typing to do my job, Friday was
it looks swollen as fuck.
Did you clip the hangnail and put it in your butt? Like, what happened?
It got like 2 times the size. It was enormous and just throbbing, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was putting Peter Carbo on it. Wife's got some oils she was putting on it. I was taking ibuprofen. That was the only thing that helped, the anti-inflammatory thing. That helped.
Your right hand? Is that your right hand?
Yeah, my right hand.
Oh, okay.
So
that would have sucked. That would have sucked if it was your left hand and your ring. You know, you couldn't get your ring off.
Yeah, I haven't had my class ring on in days because of that, right? So last night I was sitting there watching TV and I was just kind of pushing through the pain going, I've got to get this thing out of there, right? And I finally got a hold of it and yanked and pulled it out, and I was like, oh. And I looked down and it was like just straight dripping out. It was so brutal. It might have been the grossest thing you've seen in a long time. Because like I took a solid like cubic centimeter out of here, like a solid 20 drops. And now the finger, it's like wrinkly because of all the skin that's now like trying to come back, and it's still, like you said, it's still swollen as fuck. But I took tons and tons of junk out of here. It was really gross. But it feels a million times better today. Now
I'd have that thing like dunked in denatured alcohol, Neosporin.
Yeah.
Freaking you know, take a new soldering iron. You should have done that with a soldering iron to make sure everything was clean.
There you go. That's right, Matt. We just said you don't realize how much shit you hit your fingers until something like that happens, and that's true. Everything just walks past me. I'm like, fuck, and I've got a pretty reasonable like pain tolerance, but like when your skin is drawn that tight, oh man,
anything down towards the end of your fingers with the nerve endings,
dude, it's like you get a haircut and your barber has like the slightest nick on the back of your neck.
Yeah,
you're in the shower, you're shampooing, you wash it, you're like,
hey, look at there.
Ken Hartman is saying hot water and Epsom salts for that finger. Well, down here in Florida, it's the other way around. You jump in the cold water after eating the Epsom salt.
Yeah, you eat the bath salts.
Jeremy says, poor wife.
Fortunately, Jeremy, I'm left-handed, so it's all good.
Oh, yeah. The other sausages are just fine.
Megadux broke his fingers 2 weeks ago. Man, I'm sorry. I broke my pinky once, or at least I think I did. They don't do anything about it when you break a pinky or a pinky toe. I had to tape it up, to my other finger. That was like in high school. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, this one used to do a 45.
Back in the day.
Well, yeah.
Back in the day. I felt like I had to get that out of the way because I popped my Diet Coke and fucking hit my finger. I was like,
good thing it's not your Diet Coke and finger.
Do you have a special keyboard for the sausages to type on? Because you might hit a few keys together.
He has a Jimmy Dean keyboard.
I figured. I was just wondering.
Yeah, Eckridge. What's the other brand? Yeah, there's Jimmy Dean, Eckridge. Yeah. Shit. What's the name of those? The brats. Johnsonville. There you go.
Johnsonville. Yeah, Johnsonville. Lodgeville. It's the new Logitech Johnsonville combo. The keys are like this far apart. When you look at it, it looks like the phone that you put at your parents' house that are like 90.
The Cricket. No, not the Cricket. What was the name of that thing?
Jitterbug.
Jitterbug.
Yeah,
there it is.
The old people flip phone.
Jitterbug. Yep.
It's like the cell phones you'd buy for your kids. It was like this big.
That way they can talk to Grover and Big Bird and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yo, fuck Grover.
Inksy sitting there typing, and one of his fingers is this big. He's just like click, 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 click. It's like,
the fuck is that? Hold on, let me click on you.
I can't just wait for the gay jokes to come in.
Yeah.
This is a shock for a chair. So.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, shocks.
All right. But
it looks like a bigger, blacker shock.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Wait, hang on. Since she said that, hold up.
Oh, hold on. I clicked on you. All right, clicked on you.
Black.
There it is.
If you couldn't tell.
There it is. So you're familiar. Speaking of that game, you're familiar with Cyanide and Happiness, right? That webcomic, which I often find humorous. My sister gave me that game for Christmas, and this year I didn't have my family didn't come here for Christmas. We had just a quiet one, just with my wife, and it was fine, and we had a great time. But then my parents came after Christmas to celebrate Christmas. So when they came, my kind wife suggested we play that game that your sister gave you with my parents, and I was like, "Oh, I don't think that's a good idea." And she's like, "Oh no, I'm sure it'll be fine." And my mom was like, "I'm sure it'll be fine." My mom is a sweet little Southern lady, proper lady, and I was like, "Mom, just so we're the record is straight, I am against this." And so the whole thing, of course, you're drawing cards, and you have to set up, a 3-panel webcomic in a very Cards Against Humanity kind of way, and it was a train wreck. My mom was very blushed.
We brought one called Meme This, and it's just got pictures of memes.
Yeah,
and you have cards with stuff saying on them, and you have to match them up, and whoever gets it closer to the card, that one's rough too.
Yeah, I bet. It would be fine with my sister or my wife or my brother or whoever, right? Like adults, not my parents.
Depends what kind of parents you got.
I suppose. I mean, I have to imagine that there's people out there that have absolutely no problem talking about anal penetration with their mother. I suppose I'm not one of those people.
Nicholas Toomey.
Yeah.
Well. Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, Joshua Miller said 99% of us wouldn't be here if our moms weren't freaks. I will have you know that I was immaculately consumed.
Consumed?
I can't even say it.
Actually, he's wrong. That we wouldn't be here, and we would be here if they weren't, because you would have just, your mother should have swallowed you.
Pants man.
His mom bought him Cards Against. Hey, that's fine. There's no problem. That's just not my mom. My mom's not like that. But to her credit, she played the entire round, and she laughed, and it was fine, but then she didn't want to play anymore.
We were, I think it was on Christmas Eve, we were playing Taboo. My brother and his family were over, and, my oldest brother has been the subject of a lot of jokes and memes over the years, so we used him to pander. On my team, he was on the other team. We pandered the shit out of shit he did in the past, and we won.
Yeah,
and he was so mad. He's like, "You can't use me in clues." Like, stop fitting the descriptions, man. It's a fun game to play. I haven't played in years.
Which one is that?
Taboo.
Taboo. That's right. Yeah. I haven't played that in a long time. It's true. Before we get too far, hey, Foo, what are you vaping on, buddy?
Well,
what are you trying? Wait, what are you trying to vape on, buddy?
No, it's working now.
Yay!
I've been just puffing on this whole time you and Master are talking, just make sure. It's on my Origin. It's got a bellow capo on it, and it's on an SX Mini. It's got Foo's Gold in it. What the fuck else would I put in there?
Right.
And Narca, Abolishment, Limo. Yeah. You?
I'm I'm trying to take drags to participate, but it's difficult. Tonight, as per usual, I have been mostly vaping on the Limelight Bloom. It's a MOSFET unregulated mod. Everything okay over there? It's a MOSFETted unregulated squonker. And on top of here, I have a Narda with a black Ultim top cap, Oma tip, and rail cracker. And the other setup that I've also been vaping on, it's got Abolishment in it.
Did you see the size of the bottle of rail cracker that Wet Shrek got? That thing was massive.
Was it a liter or 500 or?
I think it was a liter.
What did it look like? Look like that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I got a couple of these empties over there.
and he got freaking apple butter. Can you believe that?
Mm-hmm.
From Bigglesworth Labs.
Biggie's was my Secret Santa, and I got an awesome an awesome gift from him, but he didn't send the apple butter. I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could see out of anyone to send the apple butter to Wet Trek because of the issues that he had with his mouth would be the perfect person. You know, just
apple butter's pretty good.
Lather
They don't
yourself.
get shit on Angsty's mom's apple butter, but it's done. It's good.
I just was gonna compare them. What was I talking about? I don't even remember anymore. Oh yeah, freehand. It's just like the Gloom, except for this is made out of walnut. Got abolishment in there. This is a Narca on top, also Omen. And last but not least, I've also been carrying this thing around this week. This is a Jewel. Oh, look, it needs to be charged. And I've been using I'm still on that one thing, creme brulee, because I'm still trying to try that pod out. Now, you know what? I'll talk about this in news. Masty, did you vape anything today?
I did not. I was in a location that was not vape friendly.
That happens on occasion.
Yeah, there was some air quality testing, that's about all I can say.
Is there a problem at the ice cream factory?
Maybe.
Willy Wonka.
Maybe not. Through. Huh?
They said, was Willy Wonka coming through?
It was snowing, possibly.
Ooh.
I don't know. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. So,
well, I can actually sig you off of that. The segue to that is this. So mine broke, I mean, like a year ago, right? And I just went and bought one of these last week, right before the show, and I'd forgotten how much I liked it. And it's not that I like the vape from it, because I don't, you know, it's not as good as a Squonker with a dripper on it, and it's not that I don't even know how to say it. The short version is I was in several places this last week where I couldn't vape. Either in the car with somebody that didn't want to, you know, fog out or whatever, and being able to have a little tootle puffer on some high nick and a very, you know, and totally ghosting it, was really nice. It was really, really nice, and I've forgotten how much I like this. I think I'd like it more if I put the mint pod back in there. But yeah. Anyway, so that's it. That was a good segue, actually. I've been liking having this around. Now I know there's a couple other ones, and I still have that drip, the Swan drop, that I haven't tried, and I do need to try that because I do.
That was always a weird shape to me, the drop shape.
Yeah, it's super weird
because I wouldn't think that they would be using the space inside of it, like, you know, completely.
Yeah.
Right. So, because the tank, it usually sits up top, doesn't it?
Yeah, it takes up the first third of the
triangle.
Drop. Yeah. But one of the things that I hated about this one was I never knew which corner to suck on.
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
You have to stick the whole thing in your mouth.
Yeah. I think Phil did that on his review back in the day.
Did he? Yeah. Felipe's think alike.
So anyway, that always felt goofy. In the drop, at least you have a singular point of toodles to puff upon. And yeah, same goes with this, right? It's super obvious which end is the right end here, as well. Anyway, I have enjoyed having this again. So I feel like I need to try the drop. I need to, at some point, probably try the BO. And a lot of people have said that they like that one. I think Modico, there's a hooligan that was talking about it recently. And I don't recall who it was, but I always hated the name. Why would you call a product that you're selling BO? That sounds like a
because Bo knows.
now, if it was Bo, because Bo does know vaping, I'm sure. He knows everything. Oh, that just caught my throat up. My throat just went, eee!
Oh, hang down your throat now, Angsty.
Little strong. Yeah, the drop is super palmable. It is. It's a little. So here, this is weird, right? These little things, right? These little portable pod devices or whatever. And I still say I still like this the best, the fit. I still really like that thing, except for the mouthpiece. I just don't like vaping on this one, but I like a lot of things about it. The thing that's weird about the drop is it feels really like quite heavy, and I kind of like how this one, the jewel like disappears in your pocket, like it's just down the bottom of your pocket. You don't even think about it. The drop's actually got a little weight to it. Abolishment in the breeze is tight, says Willie Stilts.
What's the breeze? The Aspire?
Yeah, I think that's right. I
don't know. It's hard for me to vape abolishment in anything that's not rebuildable now.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Well, it just needs, abolishment just needs the
heat.
It needs the right power. It needs enough power, and it doesn't need too much, in my opinion, the way I like to vape it anyway. Duro, that's a bunch of stuff, actually. That drip box was sent to me by a friend to give to somebody else. These two are two Nicotine things. It's a set of coils that was kickbacks. Those three are batteries that came from the gentleman, a hooligan, that gave me the two drops as well. So that's what those are.
Why are we explaining shit to Duro? Tell him to fuck off.
So one of those white wafers in that glass.
He just bought a Squonker. He can get on us about getting shit free now.
Did you rob a church and steal all their wafers?
Fuchgazi. You can't buy rail cracker in the States at the moment. But you can buy it from just at nick.co.uk in concentrate form.
Oh, John Martin just woke up.
Ding.
Somewhere several hours east. His little antenna just went up. That's true. You know what else you can buy at Just That Nick? You can buy Poe and Deadline.
Yes.
So that was what I was going to talk about, the jewel. As far as my main devices go, I did pull the single hole cap off of my Haku, off of my Phenon, and put the sorry, my lights are kind of dim here tonight, so everything's kind of fading in the background. I did put the Black Ultim dual coil, dual hole lid back on there and enjoyed that all week. It was really good. But then I wanted to try some older things. And by older things, I mean builds. So I wanted to go back and try some of the builds that, one of which William recommended when I got my first freehand, just to see how they still hold up, because I've been running the 3mm 27 parallel for a long time in these things. So I found that the 25 gauge one was too high for a MOSFET mod. It was all right. That I remember it being great on an unregulated mod, but the MOSFET, kills a little bit of power. So I don't think it was great. So I've been kind of futzing with it, and at the moment I think I've got a 2.5mm in here, and it's still a little weak. It's not bad. It's just a little weak. So I think I may go through and try to reformulate a little bit. Maybe use some 24. Maybe. See if I can get a non-parallel build, because I just like that parallel build so much. I just kind of wanted to try, and I haven't rebuilt anything in probably 2 months. So I kind of got the hankering last night or 2 nights ago, and just went ahead and did it. What's the build with 25 gauge, Rick? For unregulated, it's 3mm, a 4.5 wrap. So if you've got the legs coming off either side, it's 3mm 4.5 wrap of 25 gauge spaced. Was pretty good, but the ramp was a little slow with the MOSFET.
Try a space coil.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't think I've space coils in a minute.
I'm almost everything I build these days is space.
Really? Even your parallel?
Yep, even my parallels.
Jeez.
I really like it. It's really good. And I don't build it spaced. I just wrap it normally, mount it, and then just while I'm pulsing, you'll just kind of give them a little tug out with some needle nose pliers, tweezers. You just kind of give them a little room, cover a little more weight.
Give them a little whip.
Yeah, Rick, I think the 5 rep 24 is probably where it would that might make me happy on the MOSFET. So yeah, there's that.
So I rebuilt my orogeny.
Yeah.
Not wick. It's not wick. It's wicking now, but it's not wicking perfectly. And I was struggling like a motherfucker with it. Like I was building it in here with Angsty before we went live, and for an Addy that I knew like the back of my hand, I had a very hard time wicking it. How hard? I went through an entire pad of Chato, and I'm probably gonna have to go through more today.
What was happening?
Just the cotton was getting bunched up no matter how thin or thick it was, and I couldn't seem to get it. I mean, against conventional wisdom, I'm like, all right, well, wicking it halfway, whatever. I'm like, let's just try making thinner, pushing all the way, near the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have to like, basically, I made it so that I didn't have to Jenny tilt it as much.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's vaping now, but it's like sizzling a little after I finish pulling, and something's not right, and I have to fix it again. But it's working right now. Because I've had, as you know, I've had Foos Gold in the Zenith for some weeks now. And Foos Gold, while it's okay in there, like I bought this Addy just to vape Foos Gold out of it. And vaping it in there just made me miss this. So I built this. And it's fucking Foos Gold, man.
Yeah. I haven't built my orogeny in, it's probably been a couple of years.
Dude.
At least.
So I had a dual coil in there. And there was still Foos Gold in there. And there's still wicks in there. And that part of the deck was just blacked over. ISO did not get it off. Hot water and soap and a little toothbrush. Cleaned that shit right off. And I have a bell cap for it that I got from Sean many moons ago. And this is my Narca drip tip because I don't know where my other one is. So don't look too bad.
That tip only good on that because you got a bell cap.
Exactly. If it was like the stock cap, it looked hideous.
Well, it'd be burny as hell too. You'd brand your lips.
All this hair would get caught and burned, and this does need a little trim.
Rick Carr is suggesting you get the Squonk pen for the orogeny bar too.
I feel like it's redundant to put a Squonk pin in a tank. In my opinion. In a big tank, I would tend to agree with you. I really liked the functionality of the split though. I thought the split was pretty cool because it was a small tank. It was like 1.5 mil or something like that, right? Maybe. Yeah, it's a 4 mil tank, and then I usually use like 6-7 mil bottles. But yeah. I did not think I'd struggle with it. I built it in 2 seconds, like boom. Like I didn't have very little adjustment was needed.
Boom.
But wicking this thing is a pain in the dick. Or at least it seems that way to me now. I used to do this shit all the time. I used to have to re-wick this thing every day because Foos Gold is a dirty bitch. But,
oh yeah, Meganuts was saying before the show that he was playing Fable 2. I haven't thought about Fable in a long time, but there is a particular soundbite that I still say to this day, and my wife knows what it is because I showed her back in the day. It's after you catch a fish that he goes, I knew that was a risky move without comment. But that thing, I do it all the time just because it still makes me laugh. Years and years later. Fable was great.
I got
hold it out, Angsty.
Again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just too long.
Dude, long or short, half that size, it was still the same shit.
I got a let me make sure I remove this image off of here before I show this, but I got a little sneak peek into a new redesigned Squonker pin from Veritube. Let me pull up the image right there. Is it upside down? No, it's right. It's the right way, right? Okay. So there's the internals. This is just a sample right now of the pin itself. And sorry, I'm trying to read 4 things at the same time as this is going on. And as you can see, it's only 21.17 millimeters long. That's from installation, which is one of the biggest basically feedbacks that he's gotten with his Squonk pen is people want it shorter.
Yeah.
They want it shorter, and they want better insulation and conductivity and stuff like that. So they also designed that wave spring that is way better for conductivity.
Is that right?
And yep. And they the peak insulators, and then I think price range target is going to be like $7.99 from Veritube. Obviously, for a single one, bigger, more you get bulk, but not bad for that small of a different style Squonk pin. Not one that uses, you have the copper bar or stainless and trying to solder to it, and or some of the ones that have the part that sticks out, and or you're having to put a nut and a washer in between to solder to. So but yeah, so we'll see. It's still I'd say a few weeks out, I believe, is what what Perry said. But it's in the works, so it's pretty cool. The center pin is made out of 403 food grade stainless, and the spring is, I believe, 17.7 stainless. So it's going to be pretty good. He was saying that spring has if you think about it, we're taking and putting on addies on our devices quite often, especially with a lot more bottom fed addies. And so putting that on, taking it off, and that spring coming back and forth, you want a lot of springiness, retention. And those wave springs are no joke, man. They're pretty serious. So
yeah, you're right too, by the way, with the 510 refillers and stuff. You definitely take your app up, multiple times a day.
Yep.
I do.
So yeah, so there you go. That's kind of like a sneak peek shot into that. But yep, so it looks like the wave springs on you 4 millimeters shorter is the biggest request. And looks like it's still a month and so out. So not too shabby.
Right on. Jason Millsap said that he got the Exoset and abolishment working with his build box, which is great. Excellent. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I definitely enjoy the hell out of abolishment in the build box with the Exoset. Anyway, I can't think of anything right now. It's weird that they're saying that the Omen Group and the Drip Factory Labs sites are both down. I'm not surprised the Omen site's down because he's in the middle of making that batch of crazy tiny little mechs, the little hybrid guys.
What?
Yeah, dude, he's making a mech that is right about. It's a 14500 mech. It looks like a cylinder, but it's about the same size as the Jewel, maybe a little bit bigger. And he says the Jewel weighs less than it by just a hair, like a gram or two. Huh. Like it's because it's all titanium.
I'm like scouring his group right now for pictures.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's cute. I talked about it when he had the list up.
Am I not allowed to? Can I show a picture of it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, let me.
Drip sticks. Yeah, thank you, William. I couldn't remember the name.
Actually, wait, are these? Those don't look like 500 tubes. It's another mech he's working on. Because there's.
Are you bringing it up, or should I?
I got it. I just got a screen share. Because this is the first thing I found, but that does not look like what I'm looking for.
Yeah, they are. They're just a lot smaller than they look there.
These might be it.
He had one sitting next to a laying next to a Jewel from a few days ago.
Oh, got it. Found it.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Boom. God
So
damn.
the amazing thing to me is the fact that it literally I can't remember what it is, but I think it weighs like 3 grams or something ridiculous.
Wow.
With no battery in it. It's crazy light.
And it's obviously titanium.
Yeah, whole thing's titanium. So obviously it's 14500. It's made to be vaped, very low, high nick, kind of the Julie kind of thing. Get some nick salts, drip away. He has not revealed the deck yet of the integrated dripper. I think he has said that it's somewhat pancake-like, but obviously with a much tighter draw.
I like it.
Yeah, no, it's adorable. If I vaped like that more, and I felt like carrying around a bottle of e-liquid, I would definitely consider it. It's really cool. He made dripsticks like that, very similar to that, years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Brett. The deck will be insane, is what chat's saying. That is true. That is true. Yeah. There was something else that I was going to. What was I going to talk about? Here it is. This is a hat tip to on ECR or on Reddit by a username PopJ, PopJ,
Papa J.
The name the name of the post was what the fuck fast tag, I think. Let's see if I can make that here. So it's Hangda e-liquid, but the flavor is vitamin A flavor. I don't know what the hell vitamin A flavor, and I don't know what Virginie flavor is, or wasabi flavor. None of which sound good.
Vitamin A flavor sounds like it's gonna taste like fucking vitamins.
So what? I pee after I take a multivitamin. You might get some vitamin A flavor in there. Like, what is that?
I'm assuming so. Either way, it did not sound good.
I didn't know vitamin A had a flavor until today.
TIL. The last thing that I've got to share is something I actually just saw earlier because, well, it was just shared earlier. Our friend, Mr. Sire, was written up in Vape News Magazine.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
It was really cool. And Masty was mentioned in here too. Right here. Titans are machine mass mods. Look at that.
Hurrah.
So I'll put that link.
And they use the oldest picture possibly ever available.
Was that with the P5? Oh no, that's no, that's a MyTech.
Yeah, it's a MyTech, and they got the Flush 510, so it's not too old.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess Duke's here.
Yeah.
No, that is the P5. That is the P9.
Are you sure?
No.
Oh no,
it's not curvy enough to be.
It looks different. Yeah.
It's definitely flat. I can't.
Yeah, it's potato.
Yeah, they've got it all, partially opaque.
So curvy.
Yep.
No click.
No click.
On the P5, there's no click.
No, the P5 is.
This old boy still.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
I found a bag that I had lost at my garage that had 10 P9s in it. I'm like, holy shit! I just found $100.
That's right. I forgot they were that expensive back in the day.
Oh, they're still pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Especially when
they found out when all these Hammond boxes were selling out.
Well, they were expensive to begin with.
Oh, is that right?
The autos were expensive. Our autos, man, they were up like $12, $13 a piece, and that's buying them, buying like 20 or 30 of them at a time. So, I'm not gonna say me, but a few of us actually got. It was a general push by me, Joe Litt, what up, Josh, and craving to get them to sell us the button housing and the button color separate. And we finally got them to do that. So that way you can just buy all the housings that you needed, and then someone wants a custom color, you pop the color in there and good to go.
Yeah.
So, but
I bet you still need an inventory. I mean, you still had inventory all the color buttons, but at least you could swap them around as necessary.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, you could get the caps for, cents on the dollar and have all different kinds of color options, where most places, dude, and they were actually putting the button together.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that.
The companies, there were actually some guy in a warehouse putting the buttons together. That's what they would take like a day and a half to actually ship out. And I'm like, I'm not doing that shit. I can do it. And it makes it even easier for me, because then, if you going through waves when you have Foo's Love, you get all these purples being sold, and then you hate them, and then all whites are being sold, and then people want the gloss black, and so it goes in waves.
Mm-hmm.
Wave of spring, it's magic. So
that is true. I'm looking at my notes, dude. I have a couple things that I'm now expecting to come in, vaping related. About half of which I can't talk about. I just realized as I'm saying this, so that's lame. Sorry.
We should acknowledge the show's name.
Yeah. You're right. Go ahead. It was your idea.
Well, the show name tonight, for those who haven't read, is oh snap! Last week was 4 years, because last week was round about our 4-year anniversary here at the Plumes of Hazard. Yeah.
Yikes.
I didn't believe it. I was thinking it was 3, and then I went.
No, I remember it was like middle of the second weekend of January. Actually, like second week of January was our first show. As someone, I doubt anyone's going to go look back that far in our YouTube channel.
I did.
Oh, you did.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the date on the first show?
Oh, I don't know. It was 4 years ago. But it was 2. It was 2 years or 2. The episode 1 and 2 were both 4 years ago. So it was either last week or the week before.
Well, I'm gonna go down the scroll. Come on, infinite scroll. Let's go.
Yeah, so that means we're still now we're catching up to Flitzy for long ass time running a vaping show.
Well, let's see.
Let's see. The date is January 13th, 2014. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Josh Harper says seems longer, Foo. Yeah, it does and it doesn't. It's kind of just like, goddamn, it's been 4 years. And then it's going to be 5 years vaping for me in April.
Yeah.
Yep.
Plumes, are you guys low wattage vapors? Well, it depends on what you mean by low wattage.
Oh wow, I have to screen share this.
Been all over the place.
Yeah, all of us have vacillated quite heavily, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Probably none more so than Foo.
Look at that opening frame.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit. Look at that baby face.
Holy shit. What is wrong with me? Look at my head face. What's going on?
Look how short my hair is, dude.
Dude, you need to play that for a second.
I think the first words of our first show was Foo saying, "Oh hi."
No, well, first you're doing the.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah, back in the day when we didn't have computers to do intros, we were all doing this shit by telegraph. Damn, Foo, look good back then. Now you just look like a POS. That's what all the marijuana is. Look, you even have color in your eyes. Now it's just dark and gray.
Oh, my hair grew longer and my beard grew longer.
You look more like what's his name? Your brother from another mother every day. I just saw his
Goodfellow
birthday. Yeah, I just saw his birthday came up on a few days ago. So
Goodfellow
looks like the 70s. So you guys hear this thing about this this I guess I should say research paper that was put out saying that self-administered nicotine increases fat metabolism and suppresses weight gain in male rats. So make sure you tell all your male rats. Basically, the rationale is the ability of nicotine to suppress body weight is cited as a factor for impacting smoking initiation and the failure to quit. Self-administered nicotine in male rats suppresses weight independent of food intake, suggesting that nicotine increases energy expenditure. And so basically, they gave the rats access to powdered standard rodent chow, self-administered IV of nicotine, in addition, basically daily in 1 hour sessions in the last hour of the light cycle. And basically the results were that the nicotine suppressed weight gain and reduced the percent of body fat without altering the percent of lean mass as measured by echo MRI. Nicotine reduced the RER, indicating increased fat utilization. This effect was observed prior to weight suppression. Moreover, nicotine did not affect motor activity or energy expenditure. Daily food intake was not altered by nicotine self-administration. However, a trend in suppression of meal size and transient suppression of water intake and an increase in meal frequency was observed. So basically their conclusion is the data provided self-evidence that the nicotine suppressed body weight via basically turning up the metabolism, so it starts eating the fat. So there you go. Another, which, you know, you kind of already knew, you know, but in the opposite way. When most stopped smoking, weight gain started. Not, you know, because of many different things. You know, you're now having to eat something, chew something, do something else when you weren't. Obviously, this is before vaping, to control those cravings, and you know, now there's no nicotine. So
yeah, well, and there
you go.
One thing I can say, and this is not based on any sort of empirical facts, just my own personal observation about me. I had to go to the doctor in like twice in 2 days, or twice in 3 days, and it was a scheduled kind of thing, and I knew I needed to do that. And the first time I went in there, I had been vaping. I vaped all the way there to the doctor, and my blood pressure was actually a little bit higher than it normally is. And I was like, they looked at me, they're like, "That's a little higher than last time you were in here." I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, but in my defense, like, I was going through like a really stressful time at work, and I was vaping the whole way here, and I'm in a hurry because I get it back from meetings, all that kind of thing. I was like, there's a lot going on. I'm not surprised it's a little elevated, no big deal. But the next couple days later, when I went back in there, I didn't vape that morning at all until I went in, and my blood pressure is back down to normal. So I really do feel like it affects me in that way pretty significantly. And it is a stimulant, just like caffeine and anything else. Just, you know, I think that's a reasonable conclusion to come to. So just, you know, be careful out there. I'm not a doctor.
I get what they call white coat syndrome or whatever. And I just, you know, when I go to the doctor, it's, you know, it's usually I'm late, so I'm hauling ass to the parking lot. So I'm going to get there, you know, and you know, check in, and okay, in you go, and they get your blood pressure, and they're like, "Ooh, that's a bit high," you know. But having a blood pressure cuff at home and taking readings through the day, and then writing all that stuff down, then you really see how weight loss will really affect your blood pressure. So. For some people it's hereditary and they have to be on medicine, but
yeah, they got to be on medicine, or they have to watch salt. There's some people that are sensitive to salt, and
but yeah, that happens. You know, you go into the doctors and your blood pressure's, you know, higher than normal, and it can be because of that. So Will
said oral fixation too, as far as the gaining weight after smoking. Totally, the oral fixation thing. Plus, I think something that doesn't get talked about quite as much is, I think when you stop smoking, you don't realize how much you don't smell or taste until you stop smoking. And I think that's also something, is like, you know, you bite into a sandwich you've eaten, you know, every Monday for the last 2 years or whatever. And it's like, holy shit, this is amazing. Why didn't I know about this? You know, you eat too much.
My neighbor's dogs take giant shits, and I can smell them during the summer through my window now. I mean, It doesn't bother me as much, but yeah. And I realized my friend's mom's cooking sucks. No, I knew that before. I knew that before. I didn't need my taste buds to tell me that, just my stomach.
Josh, I have not tried the Drop or Dead Rabbit RDAs. I also haven't tried the Wasp Mini. All three of those have been talked about quite a lot over the last couple of months, and I haven't picked up any of them, I'm afraid. Sorry.
I was actually at my then skinniest when we started the show, and now I'm below pre-big time weight. Boom.
Oh. I might have should talk about, and I really feel like getting on the couch and relaxing.
I was gonna say, Angsty. I was gonna ask you. I guess Ahmed, you don't drive very much during the week, do you?
I mean, a couple days a week depends what I have to do.
There was somebody
that I do.
I remember there was somebody asking. I saw on ECR they were asking about vaping when it's really, really, really cold out in the car and the windows fogging up and you know.
Oh no,
all that.
I have a window open when I drive.
Yeah, you got to crack a window.
I make sure the car's warm first. Like the heat's kicking.
Yep.
And my feet is at least warm because then because with the heat blowing out, and just having one window cracked, the vape is just.
This person was saying they had they're in Minnesota and they had the heat all the way up, but they were saying that he tried using glass cleaner in the windows a couple times, glass wipes, paper towels to dry a couple times. He says he's Rain-X anti-fog on it, but he said the problem is in Minnesota it gets so cold, and colder it is, the more fog goes around the car. Yeah. I got to a point where I cannot see my blind spot and have to have my rear windows rolled down. Also, should I say it's actually freezing onto the inside of my windows. Yeah. Credit card worked great to get that stuff off, but it comes right back shortly after. I heard a magic eraser or vinegar in water may work. I have someone looking at my car in a few days, and this would be huge.
Vinegar is great for like buildups and shit, like in your on your shower heads or whatever. So it doesn't surprise me that vinegar would work. I actually advocate for using that a lot of times.
Yeah.
Whether it's getting rid of buildup or getting the smell out of clothes or whatever. I was gonna say, I mean, we had like a 3.5 week stretch here in New York where it was -5 or whatever. We don't get Minnesota cold, so
yeah,
I'm unfortunately not qualified to help you there.
I'm not either, but I can tell you that from back in the day when I smoked in my car, I've always found, at least around here, is cracking the driver window and cracking the passenger rear window is the best way forward. Like
diagonal.
That diagonal just sucks it right out, and I don't have a problem with it. Now, eventually, my shit does build up on the inside of my windshield, but it takes months. It takes months and months. But then again, I don't drive my car that often, so.
Right.
I do hear what he's saying though, because it's not just cold; it's also humidity. Because when it's
humidity, I was going to say that. Down here, if it's especially when it's just gotten done raining, or and it's really humid outside, and the sun comes, you got that AC cranking, that film builds up in no time, man. And I don't know. To me, I think wiping it while you're in the car makes it worse than just leaving it. Letting it dry and then cleaning it, So
you can't jack with that when you're driving. You got to leave it alone.
If you're in traffic, another big thing is, and there are people I ride with who don't do this. If you're in traffic, obviously the air's not flowing out. Don't fucking blow your shit in front of you.
That's right. Out the window.
Yeah.
Do one of those
out the window.
Even when I'm moving, it's out the corner of my mouth.
In the mornings that it's been cold out here, and it is the outside of the window is what's fogging up.
Yeah.
I try not to breathe straight. I breathe down because my breath will hit and it'll fog the inside of the window in 2 seconds. It's wherever that dew point is. It really matters. Like, it doesn't have to really be that cold outside, but man, I freaking hate that shit. And everyone's like, oh, turn the defrost. No, I don't want to have my AC on the defrost to pull that out. So
that's my problem. I run real hot. So even in the winter when it's cold, my window next to me, even when I'm not vaping, will fog up just because I've got heat just coming off of me.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm breathing, and the shit just like whoosh, whoosh.
Like, oh yeah, that's the other thing. Have your I mean, winter, cold enough. I usually always have the defogger on, and then I have, there's that setting where you get the feet heat and the defog. Because as long as my feet are warm, then I'm warm. That's how the saying, for me anyway.
Yeah, my
have those things on. Whether you're moving or in traffic, blow your shit out. Unless you're driving like 70 with the windows down, then the air will just. But yeah, the diagonal. No matter how, and that's the thing, you can't have one open a lot and then one open a little bit. It's just not going to flow right.
Yeah.
So however down your windows are in a diagonal fashion, they have to be they're about equal.
Roughly equal. I would agree. And William's talking about the Rain-X stuff on the inside of the windshield. That I do find that has helped historically. The other thing to me is make sure you're getting something that's absorptive. So if you Windex it or whatever you're using to vinegar, whatever you're using to clean it, remember you're not just getting that off. You're actually pulling VG off of there too. So don't be stingy with the paper towels.
Oh, don't even use paper towels.
And exactly. Are you going to say newspaper?
No, newspaper or just microfiber cloths.
Newspaper
works
even best. Yeah, microfiber cloths work great too because they're very absorptive. Newspaper though has got that carbon in the ink. And that shit will polish up a window like crazy.
But the microfiber will leave a few little hairs behind.
It's true.
Sometimes
you're telling me about something leaving a few hairs. I don't get
it. Especially if it's on the outside and you wipe a window that's hot. Yeah, but newspapers, right on. You bunch them up, and they're great to clean not only the car, but glass in the house and everything else. So
that's what we always use as a kid. My mom always said to use. I never knew why until I got older and found out it is the ink that helps. It actually polishes the glass as you're cleaning it.
Yeah, and our sliding glass door, with 3 dogs and a kid now, you get all kinds of shpuka on the freaking window. On the sliding glass door when they're coming in and out and stuff, and clean it weekly. But nothing beats newspaper.
This stuff. These things are the cheapest and best microfiber cloths that I've found.
Is that the big one that's got the pockets in it?
No, it doesn't have pockets. These are just straight.
I got
squares.
The big one to dry. I got the big one to dry the car with, and it's got pockets so you can put your hands in it.
That's cool. This is what this is what I use on my desk for vape rags. Those things, most of the time when you get microfiber, and I don't have any more because I threw them all away because they suck. It sucked. But yeah, some of them will leave little fibers, and some of them will tear because they've only been woven in one direction, so they're only strong in one X or Y. These are much more like a regular, like you would think, like a dish towel almost, but they've got that microfiber texture. But that's not the same as remember those blue ones that we got in Tampa?
Yes.
That's exactly what I use. I use it for fucking everything.
These things are the friggin' tits, and I've never found one like it.
Yes.
Because this one doesn't have the raised like terry cloth style thing. This one's like flat, and this thing's great.
I have mine somewhere, but yeah, that thing is freaking awesome. I remember I spilled something, and it just took the right. And hey, while we're speaking of vaping, I see some people saying, "Oh, my windows get foggy and stuff." Remember, it will affect your electronics, fans, any buildup can happen on monitors. It will. If you are vaping in an enclosed room that you're hanging out in for a little bit, See down here,
circulation.
I'm hardly ever in a room without the fan on, and I have return vents in every room. So, but yeah, for those of you that are vaping in close proximity to electronics that you care about, be mindful of that.
Don't vape into your fucking intake fans on your tower. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Do it a couple times. You're like, oh, cool, right? And then just get over it. Always have something like my little droid air purifier thing over there. It's always on. Always. Low, high, whatever. It's always on. Just move the air. That's all you need to do. Don't be a dirty bitch. Vacuum, and if you're in a carpet room, vacuum that shit every week too. Keep that dust down.
Yeah.
Get you a robot vacuum. Let it do it for you.
All right. Enough of all that shit. I'm out of here. Everybody, thank you very much for coming by and hanging out with us this week on the Plumes of Hazard. After 4 flipping
Make sure
years.
to donate chicken noodle soup to Angsty's GoFundMe. And it's
4 years. And make sure you put some Vienna sausages just like his finger.
Oh!
No, dude, Vienna sausages aren't big enough. This shit was my fingers are normally Vienna sausage size.
That's what I mean. Did you mistake your finger for size? You bit it. You're like, ow.
Okay, he was turning into freaking Hellboy. One finger at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks, everybody. You guys rock. We'll touch you next week. Peace out.
Good night. Peace.